Lovely viewers, it's another edition of CEO Live on TV. Michael Adekunle is my name. Today's edition of CEO Live, I have here with me is Isaac Ifeanyi Agwazin, the publisher of the Top Society magazine, and also the weekly Trace, the paper that is doing well in the industry. So, journalism is not all about writing of stories, it's all about disseminating stories from the credible sources to the public. Now, how far has journalism gone in this present day dispensation?
Journalism as a profession is really doing well. Just that I can say a lot of things are mixing, especially with the invention of social media. Social media has been like a threat to the profession. But nevertheless, it's still doing very well. Because like they rightly call them, the watchdog
of the society.
Journalism is a career that gets you informed. Is a kind of a sector that keeps you on toes to know the happenings, the do and don'ts of the society. So, they are not, I would say, to the best of my knowledge, that it's not doing bad at all. It's not. Look at the recent cases that happened, where the like of Showore was arrested around 1 a.m. a few days ago. Yeah. If not for the power of journalism media, Nigerians wouldn't have known what happened. Let's assume journalism is not at work operating. Maybe probably if you didn't see him on the protest, you say, oh, maybe you have set up the protest and ran away out of the country or one thing or the other. But because we are the watchdog, we are the pen shakers, it took us the pain and all of that to make sure that the public got the consumption of what actually happened. Which till this minute we are talking, investigations are still on and on and on, just to finalize, just to balance situation of what actually transpired, how it was moved and all of that. So, to me as a person, I am delighted to find myself in that sector. So, that's it.
So, in journalism, there is a slogan we use, and it's called "The pen is mightier than the sword." But it seems it was working before. I'm sorry to use that word, working before. This time around, I personally don't see that working. This is democracy. This is democratic setting. But the pen is mightier than the sword. It's not that working because it seems the freedom of expression is not being given. What's your take on it?
Yes. The freedom of practice is a threat, is a big threat now. Journalism as a career in an advanced world, or the Western world rather, is meant to be protected because they are like the mouthpiece of the people. They are meant to be protected legally, social welfare, and otherwise, to make sure they carry out their duty effectively. But in our own part here in Africa, Nigeria, let me use Nigeria as a case study, there is no law or security that guides them. So probably people practicing now is actually probably practicing because of the passion they have for the job, not because it is a civic right that it ought supposed to be. Journalism was supposed to have a kind of budget from state, federal allocation to keep them afloat, because it's more of a voluntary career. You do it just to keep the people informed. But on our own side here, their life is more of in threat. Okay, look at what happened the other day. That was on Monday, 2 days ago. We had some journalists were beaten up or thereabouts, or shot with tear gas over the protest, which is not supposed to be. So the pen is no more longer mighty because the security is not there. I have a columnist that just wrote an article some days ago on Max Media. The constitutional right is no longer there. So sometimes you look at it, think you are dying for. What's this thing I'm giving up my life for? What are my constitutional rights? If they are not there, so why are you killing yourself for it? It has the sector has actually been bastardized by, Nigeria, the country we find ourselves here is truly, really, really not encouraging to that career, that beautiful career called journalism. I had a couple of my friends, some of them are gone into fashion, some of them are gone into one thing or the other, because that value that it used to have is no more longer there. That respect that it used to control is no more longer there. The welfare is not there. So we that are still there keep doing it because of the passion we have for it. So you can see when you are working for your nation and your security is in your own hand. Yeah. So what are you dying for? You don't know what dying for. So that is just my view.
Now, let me bring it back to an issue. Some years ago, I met some persons on certain issues concerning journalism. And out of those issues, one issue was, and I brought up, that journalism was well practiced during the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the ex-president of India, then this present day government of Muhammadu Buhari. Is it true, sir?
I can say yes to some extent.
People that journalists enjoyed practicing that profession during that regime, than this
because regime. Why I said yes is because during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, journalism have that freedom of speech right. They uphold it. So sometimes, probably when you want to do something, and you know you don't even have that government backup to do it, there is how it operates. So it probably any reportage you do now is automatically on your own. You're on your own. The time of Jonathan, look at the social media we are enjoying today. That is actually killing the journalism sector somehow.
Media. The print media.
Yeah, killing the print media partially. All these acts were enacted during the time of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. There were some kind of leverages they were given to media industry during them. So they all have that constitutional guide to practice. But today now we don't have anything like freedom of speech in our country. I'm sorry to use that word. There is no freedom of information disposal. We don't really have it. We are working in fear. You can imagine when there is a reportage on probably one government official and all of that, and before you know what happened, the next minute, DSS and whatever and that invent the media house. So how do you intend them to practice? Where is their freedom of practice? Where is that constitutional right that allows them to write what they see or what they feel that the public deserve for consumption?
Even the FOI, that's freedom of information.
Information. We don't have it anymore. Those constitutional rights are no more there. what we do today, this government really want to enjoy as a practice is probably a wash and wear journalism, where you see the truth and cover it up and see the first story and report, which is not supposed to be. Before, I used to see that if there's an issue, there is what we call balancing, investigation. Maybe probably if somebody have an issue with you, you come and report, and I will not take the pain and other things to go and meet the next party to verify, to balance my report. But today, the government does not give the room for those things to work. So what we have is today, what we enjoy today is just one-hand information. That is most of the thing we enjoy today, one-hand information, which is not supposed to be. Journalism is supposed to balance. But we're not balancing it today.
Now, let me bring you back to what happened sometimes ago on a program called Bystanders at Newsthings, which I anchored. This top society, we have Weekly Trace. So also we have other newspapers, other journals. I got to the newsstand one day. I brought out Vanguard, The Punch, The Sun, and The Nation. The Punch, The Nation, The Punch, The Sun, and Vanguard, carrying the same story, but it was a kind of different scenario with The Nation. Talking about the balancing of news, what do you think is really going on? It seems some politicians are really, into journalism that is making the work frustrating.
I can say yes. The most functional people today are owned by government officials. If not owned by government, like you rightly say, Sun. Sun is owned by Oji Zokalo, the former governor of Abia State, and the current sitting senator. So you see, these people are using government money to fund it. So people like that, they have all it takes to stand in the market to compete. But when there is no, probably we that is a private-owned media houses, nobody cares about your being. Nobody cares what you do. So every risk or whatever you do is on your own. But these people, like you talk of the Nation. The Nation is government-owned paper. We talk of Tribune. It's in the hand of government. So few of them, most of them, let me say 80% of the functional media daily papers are actually owned by, if not owned by government official, is being backed up by someone in power.
But the objectivity is not there anymore.
The objectivity is not there anymore.
Why is it so? Is it because they are owned by government persons?
Okay, look at the...
because before we used to have these 5W and H factors in journalism, which I'm not saying is not really in vogue, but check out some of the journals this time around. We don't have that factor again.
Today, journalism, I know. Sometimes the media of the government official, because they are the level of affairs, sometimes they dictate your headlines for you now. Yes. They tell you what the news, the kind of news content you are to publish and the one not to publish. So you as a trained journalist does not even have the right to decide the fate of your job anymore. They dictate for you. That is the challenge there. They dictate for you. Okay, you can see what I have on the headline now. If someone like Rochas could get hold of this, the SS will come after me. Yes, but it's the true fact.
Our ex-governor allegedly lavished 20 billion naira on invisible contracts. That's what we have here.
Using just one company to distribute contracts worth of 20 billion naira, and none of them is completed. Can you imagine a governor said he used over 700 and something million to mold the hand of God? Who are they deceiving? So at this point now, The state-owned people cannot report because their mouth has been sealed. So it's only we that are just coming out on our own that is looking for that is hunger and quest to stand out.
Disseminate the rightful information.
Yeah.
Media is still involved. I won't say it's not involved, but it seems the online media has taken over. What do you think will happen to the future of the print?
Like I earlier said, there's a philosophy I go by which say the future belongs to those who really know the beauty of their dreams. Print media can never die. I have actually met a man, a very prominent Nigerian. When I say prominent, very prominent Nigerian. And I told him, sir, the story I run on you is on online, so you can Google it on your phone. He said, my dear, whatever you're talking about, if I can't see it on paper, then it's not valid. And there is another an adage that said, if you want to hide something from an African man, put it in black and white. Then that sin is still there. That mark is still there. No matter what. And for crying out loud, people that really value the online version are the youths. You can't tell that people like Leganza, they want to read now, or people like Tinubu want to read now. They will always sit down with newspaper. So, I don't see what faded away. It's still there. Although the patronage is dropping. But, just like car, for instance, we used to drive a manual before we eventually go into automatic. But yet, manual is still in the market. Some brand new cars today are still manual. And they're still selling. So the same thing is applicable here. Yeah. Print media made it to struggle. Fine. In terms of maybe advertising patronage. Yeah, distribution. But that does not mean that it had the power to kill it off. No. Print media will take longer time to get stabilized. But print media over time, during the times of MKO Abiola, them Concord and so on, and even the names still read till tomorrow. So this is like an old school. Print media is more like an old school. It has all it takes to stand. Only people that could probably suffer it now are maybe the newcomers in the industry. But print media as a brand, yeah, the patronage is low, but it still has a future.
You guys surviving.
Yes, it's still surviving.
Okay, now let's move to Top Society and Weekly Traits. How did you come about this initiative?
This is a very big question. Top Society was given back to August 25th, 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Before then, I started my life as a graphic personnel. So when I see people, journalists come around to design their newspaper, I try to read and see the calibers of people they interview and all of that. I began to develop interest. So I'm taking you back to as far back as 2009, 2010. So after a while, I decided to go and give myself a basic training. I relocated back to Port Harcourt, gave myself some basic training on it, and actually worked with a couple of private-owned media houses over there before I decided it's time to put in. At that point, I feel I'm not really a kind of unleashing the potential in me. So I needed a room where I can exercise more of the what I have, the zeal, the passion. That was how we gave back to the brand Top Society. Our first edition came on air on the 25th of August 2013, 2014. So
Now let's quickly move to that name, Top and Society. Something must have prompted you to, give that house name or give it this house type, Top and Society. What prompted you to do it?
I can tell you there's something I believe so much upon. If God is involved in whatever you do, there is no going back. The initial time I wanted to start this paper up, the name was supposed to be the Icon.
The icon.
The Icon. But at that point, I wasn't ready. And I could actually agree that maybe God has not supported it at that point. So before I could know what is happening, a colleague and a friend of mine jacked up the name and make use of it. And I didn't worry. I was waiting for the appointed time. When the appointed time came, God gave me the name. That particular day, I have a kind of disappointment from someone so dear to me. So in the midst of weeping out through the night and thinking about what next to do, the name came into my mind, Top Society. That same night, I created the logo, and I can tell you from that night to this minute, nothing has been altered about it. Even when I submitted it to the National Library for ISS number endorsement, they said, this name could not fly. What do I have to do? Because I believe it was God at work. I quickly went to my pastor, told him, look at what these people are saying. And they say, we can add something, either extra or whatever. I said, okay, but I need that Top Society. And we prayed about, say, if the will of God, let the Top Society remain. And after about a week or thereabouts, they call back again that they've approved the name. So basically, I can say it's a gift. It's a gift to me from God.
And the industry. But it's making waves right now. Weekly Trades, can you just shed light on it?
Yeah, Weekly Trades was founded 2018 January. And just like I rightly said, this was a friend just encouraged me and said, guy, magazine is not much really valued in the industry now. They value more of newsprint. So I decided on what to do just to keep relevant in the business. We initiated a Weekly Trace. The first initiation was National Trace. So that took us a whole 1 year. I made a post recently on my Facebook account. 1 year of struggling, 1 year of waiting, 1 year of debating and all of that. But along the line, we've been printing National Trace. But it took us 1 year to go through the registration process and all of that and all. And finally, National Library refused of giving us the National Trace. But the trace still remained. The most important thing, the irony of the whole thing is that trace. I wanted to have a brand whereby we can actually do what is called thorough investigative journalism. Although I can tell you now confidently that it has not really started its original purpose. We are just here for acceptance and visibility. But I know with time, we fall back to the original design. Original design is a paper where you can trace from the root. Even if it's something that happens 10, 20, 100 years ago, we can go back as far back as history to balance our reportage.
Now, I want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Why am I saying congratulations to you? There's something here. It's an award. Jane Fabulous Media Unlimited, a Fabulous International Magazine, presents Fabulous Achievers Award 2018 to Agwazin Isaac Ifine. As a what's all about this achievement, this award. And what do you get it?
The award was bestowed on me last year. There were actually two. I have another one there. Yeah, there were actually two, almost the same month. Well, one thing in life is that whatever you are doing, eyes are watching you. Sometimes you do things and say, I just want to do it because I want to do it. Let it just be that I do something. Like me particularly, I am that kind of person that I never take things so serious, so important. I never stick to things that if not me, nobody would do this kind of thing. But the award let me know that people are actually watching the little effort I'm putting in place. The award was actually on a fast rising publisher and modern insight in business, because the time came I not only focus on the journalism alone, looking at how the industry is going, not much hope about it. So I need to diversify into other things. I have to go into general printing, branding, and so on, which we have the equipment here already. So I never knew that my colleagues are actually watching me, because probably most of them started before me, but to God be the glory, I have gone an extra mile, which most of them actually have as a dream. So one thing is to have a dream, another thing is for it to come to pass. So the award reminds me a lot that is a challenge to me. The award tell me that I need to work extra hard. If I am working 4 hours a day, the award is reminding me today that I need to work more than 4 hours and work 6 hours. Because it's more like a tax that we are watching what you are doing. Then, a lot.
Now let's move to your personal life. You look simple, the way you dress, the way you speak, but you're mighty. Can you just explain more about yourself? Your upbringing, your background.
Well, when you talk of simplicity, I can say I had that from my background. I came from a family whereby a kind of middle class family, whereby everybody works hard to achieve their own dream. I came from a family whereby you don't even wait for anybody to help you achieve your dream. You work hard towards it. A family whereby we owe our name to the highest esteem. And my elder brother too is also in the industry, which I live with him, I served him. We are together for like probably 8 to 9 years. And irrespective of his achievement and whatever, you don't see him make noise about it. You don't see him make noise about it. In fact, if you see him seated here, he will like, let me find this guy something, some change. Very simple. So if such a person can train me and I bring in pride, what for? And this job actually brings me close to some people. I met a man recently, and I actually told myself, guy, you're a bragger. This man is the chairman of a famous bank and also about 3 insurance companies. When you see him, the humility is something else. It's second to none. So I asked myself, if this kind of person with all this security and none of that could still greet me humbly, welcome me humbly, and do all this, what is the pride? What have you achieved? And second, another way, you don't need to tell people this is whom you are. Let what you do speak for you. If you are actually doing the right thing, people will find out. They will see it. Not when you know you have just 100,000 in account and you start doing a tank cry that you have 1 million and you've never seen that before. The truth is that the real wealthy successful men, they don't make noise. Because number one, your security. Your integrity. You must protect all this. How do you protect them? by fixing yourself together. You don't talk anyhow. You don't react to people. Well, um, I just came to realize one thing, that a beggar today could be a millionaire tomorrow. A beggar. So that all these are the things I watch and give my treat to people value. I have some staffs here. I have the ones in Port Harcourt, I have in Abuja, I have in New York. But if we are talking here, you don't know who is the boss and who is the staff until they introduce. Sometimes I derive joy. I derive joy even to sit in one plate and eat with my staff and their. So, a friend of mine came one time, some time ago, and said, "Guy, who is the boss?" Okay, not a friend, a customer, kind of a client came here one day, and I was seated in the reception with my staff, and I was asking, "Look, I want to see your boss." And in fact, I was the least dressed that day. I was putting on just bedroom slippers, and I was just listening to them. I just asked my staff, "They don't." People just attend to the woman. After the whole discussion, the woman was like, "Okay, I want to see your boss so that I can seal up the deal." And when they now pointed at me, the woman was like, "Are you guys joking or what?" I said, "I want to see your boss." They said, "This is my boss." We came in here, we discussed, and he said, after the deal, and a day come, the woman come and say, "Guy, what kind of human being are you? It's just simple, and yeah, that is what life ought to be." The truth is that this life we came with nothing, and we are living with nothing. Even with the security, with whatever, with the a bulletproof car and everything, one day you will leave them all on the surface of this earth. So why are you carrying yourself as if you are God? Eh? I will always tell people, I say, even if God bless me more than what I am today, I will be more humble. Because at that point, I know I have less responsibility. Probably I will have a huge number of staff that will take care of my need, my problems. So I will have time for myself at that point.
All right, viewers, welcome back to your program. See you live on Fleet TV. Sir, you talked about your staffs. I wanted to ask you some questions about how you manage your staffs, but the way you just spoke really giving a clue on how you treat your staffs. Okay, let's move down to your personal life. Let me invade into your privacy a little. How do you relax? You're always here and there, covering stories, trending news, always on the road, either exclusive or feature stories. Now, how do you relax?
Beautiful one. I won't lie to you. I give myself a lot of time to relax when the need calls for. Because I don't own my life. God owns it. So anything he cannot give me in 1 hour effort, I don't think he will give it to me in 2 days effort. Like yesterday, I had to go to the airport to have my massage. Come back here, I had a lot of food and drink. I don't have a particular day for realization. I can choose a Monday, I can choose a Friday, I can choose a Wednesday. Probably any day I feel I have a less responsibility. I go to cinema to see movie. I can decide to go to beach. I can go back home, have a good sleep. So in terms of relaxing, yeah, I relax. Because this work is quite challenging. It's an emotional entangled job. Like this week, I'll have a lot of, after the production over the weekend, I had a lot of pain and so on. So I have to take yesterday off to just reset my system. So after which, probably by next week, I might be out of the town to 1 or 2 states to do 1 or 2 things. So that little time I have, I use it well to relax. Either I see movie, or I go for massage, or probably go and wine. So these are my method of relaxing.
Okay. You've made success on top celebrity, top society, which is not a new magic in the industry. Hearing top society, not today, not yesterday. Would you tell me you're a successful journalist?
Success has different uh, definitions. For now, I wouldn't tell you I'm successful yet. Hmm? I can say I am making efforts, but successful, I'm not yet there. That would be a mock on myself if I tell you that I'm successful. I'm successful means that I have arrived. Because life is the more you live, the more you learn. I continue learning. I learn every day about the job. No man is an island. Hmm? So, be education-wise, career-wise, business-wise, you learn every day. So, I still question that language called successful. I am successful. No, you only try. If you feel you are successful enough, you are successful, then shut the business, go home and sleep.
Shut the business,
Go home and sleep. And let the money keep falling into the account if you feel you are successful.
And is it possible like that?
So, why would you say I'm successful on this? I refuse to borrow that language. We are only making efforts, headways. Yeah. If you say, are you making headway? Yes, I'm making a headway. But successful, I'm not yet successful there.
And before we wrap it up on this show, I'm sorry, this question is somehow technical. Technical in the sense that you may find it disgusting. I'm sorry. You have an urgent call as a journalist. News break every minute, even seconds. You step out, and on your way going, you meet your staff on the road. Don't let me use that. Don't let me use this statement. I'm sorry. Somehow, when you're unconscious, about to die, and you are out to break a news or to cover an exclusive news, which one would you go for? Would you rescue the staff or go for that coverage?
My staff or a neighbor, in as much as someone is a point of death, no matter how passionate you are about your career, why are you working? You are working to affect lives, directly or indirectly. So that life that needs you that point is your number one priority, your first priority.
If those people you are trying, that news you're trying to cover, it's something that also affects life or lives.
The one I am seeing there should be my number one priority. What does it profit a man that you gain the whole world, you gain the whole news and all of that, and that soap you're supposed to have saved, that would have ticked your name in heavenly record, that this guy won't save the life, is not there. Oh. So what is the need? Why are you leaving?
Okay, if the news you are about to cover or you are going to cover is enough to change your entire destiny or let me say, is enough to change who you are presently to become a billionaire.
Well, God has his way of doing things. He said, I knows your needs. God knows where I am today. He knows where I'm going tomorrow. He knows when to make me. His blessings have no sorrow. Let me pick it biblically now. The blessings of God that will make me super rich will not be contradicted with maybe someone's life. So if these two options are weighed down, life to save, go and make $1 million. Right there, saving that life alone, I prefer saving that life than that $1 million for now. If that money is actually for me, to wait for me to come back.
Thank you so much. Nice.
But if it is not, there is one philosophy I live for. Whatever that is yours, even asleep. I have come encounter with issues like this several times I have fighting over things, over money, and automatically I came to conclude that probably Holy Spirit will always tell me, this is not your own. If it's your own, I will reserve it for you. A scenario happened 2 days ago, and something that had never happened before happened, and I was quite frightened. I have to start calling experts to join hands to develop the issue before it gets out of hand. And yesterday, I said, okay, let me just call the person in question and find out. He said, don't bother about it. We sorted it out. He said, are you getting it? It's yours. Okay, look at all the troubles I make. Yeah, the problem wasn't resolved. But God has gone ahead of me to do what? To pass the bill. So, if God is doing that in secret, you will sleep all through the night. You don't know what happens to you. You don't even know how you wake up the next morning and you see someone else dying that you ought to save the person's life. Where are you taking the billions to? Let me just tip this. I'm not supposed to bring in this, but this is just an example of life. Everybody has their own designs. Everybody is designed. All through my life as a journalist, there are things people do to make quick money. Anytime I tried it, it doesn't end well. Yes, there's always a threat. So since I know that God was not destining me to make fast track money, in fact, generally, I don't bother my head over monetary issues. When it comes to monetary issues, I don't bother my head. But all I'm very sure of is that if I am in need of 100,000 this week, I don't know how God is going to do it. He will do it. He will do it. When I was younger, I always have a dream. I want to be a multi-millionaire and that and that and that and that and that. But the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me is knowing Christ. When I understand how he works, I began to drop those quests, those desires, and allow him to do things on his own. Because I keep asking myself some questions sometimes. If, okay, you sleep in a water bed, you do this, lavish this, and one day you closes these two eyes and you could not open them. What happens to those things?
What happened to those things? And let's move down to another issue here. Top society and weekly trades in the next 2-3 years. Where you expect these two journals to be?
They are child. Any mother that gave back to a child expects the child to grow. Be a dwarf, be a whatever, be a sickler. You see that child grow. So they are growing. God, they are in God's hand. I dedicated them unto God. God can change them in 2 days. If it takes him 10 years to change them, fine. But there must be a continuous improvement.
Okay, and do you also have it in plan to go online?
Both of them are online.
They are online also.
They're online.
And are they doing well?
Of course they are doing well. They are paying my bills. So what else?
That's the business side of it. Paying your bills very well.
They are paying my bills. So they pay the staff's bill. They pay my bills. So what else am I looking for? Is it until I buy private jet because before now I'm doing well? No. They are paying their bills. So I'm okay.
Word to Muslim faithful before you, as a Christian.
My word to Muslim faithfuls, irrespective of our gender, our religious belief, and whatsoever, we are all humans. I came to understand from the movie transcription that even the herbalists call God before they do anything. So we are all created by God. No matter what they call it, we are all one. So my message to them is to what? Embrace peace.
That is your message to them. Thank you so much for joining us today on See You Live on Flip TV. Okay, it's been a wonderful day with the publisher and the chief editor of Top Society magazine and weekly trades newspaper. Do endeavor to join us next time as we bring you another guest on this platform. See you live on Fleet TV. Behind the camera, I have my very good, brilliant cameraman, Latif Adewale. Also joining in on today's edition of See You Live, Ahmed Adenwale. How go without saying kudos to Puma, that's the web expert on Fleet TV. Michael Adekunle still remains my name till I join you on the same channel next time. Keep having a good day.